What's the word, boss cowboy?
Man, I'm chilling on the big dog.
Sir.
All right, so I'm excited that we will be starting this series today. All right, yeah. So we gotta talk about what we gotta talk about, and it's not a lot of people talking about it, but we gonna talk about it. So we dealing with depth at guard. With film. So what's your thoughts, bro?
Oh, well, men lie, but the eye in the sky never lies, boss cowboy. And that's what we about toss. We get to some truths, and I said truths because there's multiple truths that will be exposed.
So then, and that's all we're here for. We want to be able to showcase what's available. Every year we understand the business of football. These picks will be sold to us, whether it's good or bad. Ideas would be sold to us because optimism is a commodity.
Sir.
So we make sure, at least on this channel, that we not gonna feed you no wee-woo.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
So we gotta go to the ultimate truth teller, and that is the film.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that it's gonna be bad too, Cowboy Nation. We just go look at it. That's all it is. If you say it's depth at guard, well, we getting ready to see. Yeah, that's just fair. Let's take a look. We'll be right back. Let's go. Depth at guard.
Yep.
Let's go. Depth at guard. Let's go. Y'all know what it is. Y'all
and listen, guys.
Go ahead.
All of not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on all the platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Soon to be on many more. And look, get into the building, have a seat, and get ready to enjoy yourself.
All right. Yes, and we will. All right. So obviously, it's been about a week since the draft ended, and Will McClay made a certain comment, right? So that's what this whole series is basically getting ready to be about. Us going to the film. So I see y'all in the building: Big Santana, Jay Bryan, Darren, Michael Lockhart, T-Mo, Regina, Queen, Kelvin, James, Etta, the Truth MVP, Life Crazy. A lot of people coming in. Chris, we see y'all in the building. But this is where pretty much everything stemmed from, and then we go talk about it. Here we go.
You got 2 minutes.
We'll just get warmed up.
Will, who would you take?
Personally, I would go with Mozzie because I know that he helps us now with the guard. I love the guard too. My question is, you're adding something to it where we have depth. I think the defensive lineman gives you an immediate starter.
So that's what we stemming this whole thing out, where Will McClay basically said where we have depth. So one of the people that came
Yeah.
out was Chuma. So first of all, what's your thoughts, OC, before we kind of start climbing through and just kind of going through it?
I think important is to say, define depth. And I think that we should define that word, Boss Cowboy, for the people. Depth. Do you mean depth in the sense that you have a lot of bodies? Or do you mean depth in that you have a lot of quality guys that could start and get the job done? Because there's two types of depth. Just want to point that out.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest. It sounded like body depth. I didn't get the tone. Didn't sound like he was saying depth in terms of quality depth. It seemed like it was like a lot of bodies.
Right.
But he wasn't obviously definitive. But that's just what I took from it.
Yeah. And so what I really want to explore, and what I'm going to be looking for, Boss Cowboy, is do we have quality depth? Because bodies are irrelevant if they cannot get the job done. So that's what I'm looking for these sessions to see if you actually get the job done on a
Oh, see, you breaking up real bad. So could you come out and come in? And then
Yep, I will.
Because see, on this next part, I'll be able to carry us on the next subjects of what I'm getting ready to talk about. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me just kind of get everything set up. Because to me, this is very big. Obviously, we say this all the time, but on this channel, we go right at potential problems that we believe could be potential problems or obstacles at us winning a championship. So looking at left guard is not just about looking at guard by itself. It's not about that at all. It's not about just being a Debbie Downer or a complainer at all. No. It's about what's going on, first of all, in our division. So me and the OC, we've been talking in private. So we go just talk a little bit first why we see left guard as big, because first we got to start with our division and look at even first starting with the Giants, where you got Ashawn, who just was acquired, and they added that to Dexter Lawrence. And one thing I want to say about Ashawn is the only dude since he was 21 that looked like he was 40. Since he was at but to tell the truth, OC, don't Ashawn Robinson look like, even when he was 21, man, he looked like he could be my uncle, bro. Anyway.
That's what he looked like, your uncle. He looked like your uncle. That's how he looked. He looked like your uncle. Like that's your uncle.
He looked like, hey,
that's your
Uncle
uncle
Robinson,
right there.
Uncle Robinson.
He looked like your uncle, bro. That's how he looked.
Yeah. So, but then they signed Dexter Lawrence, who all of us know have come into his own now, and he's definitely into his man body. We all see it. We also expect that to happen with our guy, Matt Mozzie. We see that happening, especially as he matures in the trenches. Then you got Leonard Williams. So just
he's grown man.
Yeah, so we talking about just those guys. So first of all, what's your thoughts on those guys? And we go keep going before we get into this left guard.
Well, the thing to really understand, if you're looking at this thing as you should, which is front versus front, man versus potential man, is that everybody in the NFC East is getting better in the front seven. And it's been an effort to get better. And so the Giants are no different than the other teams we'll talk about, in the sense that they've added pieces to get better, to make themselves competitive and put themselves in a position where they actually can beat you.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they trying to put themselves in a place to where they can beat us. In other words, I think some of these people, even in our division, trying to catch up. And Lock 44 say, no, we can't have quality depth, y'all. Like the front office has been telling us, we can't have a Pro Bowl at every spot on the O-line. And then he said, just saying what they've been trying to feed us. Exactly. My boy Lock said, I ain't falling for the wee-woo, man. He say, I hear you.
Oh, you see this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo.
So we just looking at it. It ain't, we just looking at it. Like my boy Ronald Reagan say, trust but verify. So then if we keep going, let's just keep it real. We already took a L in them trenches with the interior three with Allen as well as Payne. Like, what's your thought of that spanking? Because we actually went through that spanking and showcased how they demolished the middle three. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Well, what you said is true, boss, but it's not complete. They whooped us twice. They whipped us twice, not just once. That's like getting in a fight and then you come and try to pick up the dude, on the dude that bullied you, he whoop you again, he beat you up again. Yeah. Now it's verifiable. He's the better man. And so those two dudes versus where we are today, they the better man. Like, the only thing you can do is try to get stronger. We'll talk more about that later, but yeah, man, those guys are just very difficult to deal with, boss. And that's saying the least.
The least. And let's keep going.
That's saying the least.
Let's keep going. Cause see, some people like, shut up, OC. You get on my nerve, you yellow skinned guy. Who do you think you are trying to tell the Dallas Cowboys and the fans we not to be even a little bit concerned? Boss, shut up. Shut up. Talking about left. No. We still got to talk about this. Because even if you look at the Eagles, they are also gearing up for their second wave of talent. They are washing out the old guys. They are positioning themselves with the new guys. The new generation of defensive tackles is coming to a division near you with Jordan Davis going into year 2. And we all know this. We're not afraid of Philly at all. But I also look across the street at what my opponent is doing just to be wise. We also know that between year 1 and year 2, most players make their best jump in terms of professional gains. And you add to that freakish Milton Williams. He done already caught him some bodies with the Dallas Cowboys. Remember, Milton Williams is one of the most freakish guys. And he was somebody that you was high on coming out, OC. Go ahead and break him down, and then we'll keep talking about the reason why we emphasize in left guard.
Yeah, man. Milton was a guy that's 6'3", 290 pounds, that ran 4.640, bench pressed 225 34 times, jumped out of the gym, and had just extreme measurables. And what you see with him when we play against them is you see him give one-on-one match our guards and our centers, doesn't really matter who they are, extreme difficulty, man. He's extremely quick, he's nuanced, and man, he's getting better and better every year. And he's a really, really good, underrated young tackle.
Yeah. So on top of that, they got Cox, who I would say is long in the tooth. So when I look at, what Philly is doing, when I look at what Washington is doing, when I look at what the Giants are doing, to me that says to also take a look at our back door. Our back door in concerns with left guard does appear to be open, especially as you see teams building around what used to be the Dallas Cowboys' strength. So they are building their interior to counter where we used to be extremely strong. So me looking at this, I'm thinking, OC, that we can't lose sight of what made us great, and that's having a strong interior three. And not only that, even if we look outside the division, the rich gets richer. Where you see Hargraves now signed to San Fran to add to Armstead and up and coming Kinlaw. Even though Kinlaw has not yet hit what he's supposed to hit, he's still young enough for him to turn the corner, and I still see that as a threat as well. So when you look at other teams who built, and these are teams that's in our way, regardless if you think we are better than Philly or not, that's not the debate right now. The debate is they are in the way, and what are we going to do about it? That's why we starting the series. Before we get into his film, did you have any thoughts, OC, on what I just said at San Fran?
Yeah, I got a very important thought. Here's the thought. It's an old school thought that says you're only as strong as your weakest link. And with the rotation of lines and how defenses attack offenses, they're going to put their best players on your weakest players. And when we watch this film, just keep that in mind.
Right. All right. So now we get to tackle what we're here for. We heard Will McClay say we have depth at guard. We just made the case of why we believe it's so important to keep a bullseye on this. It is very important to keep a bullseye on this. In my opinion, we shouldn't fall asleep as fans. We shouldn't just be like, hey, I trust it. Everything is going to be fine. I think that's the wrong approach, especially because our front office sold us on bad ideas before. They sold us convincingly that receiver by committee was going to work. They sold it, and they stuck to it to 8 games. They sold us that Amari, we didn't need him. We was fine signing Gallup. That's what they sold us. So my old 4th grade teacher, Miss Douglas, used to always say, and I stand by this to this day, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So we look under the hood now at the potential elephants that's in the room or not in the room. So we gonna go ahead and get started on Chuma. All right. Now this is the good thing about Chuma as we break this down. Should we start with his film or give his background first, OC? What should we do?
Give a little bit of background, then we'll get right into the film.
Okay. All right, so let's get into first of all, his background. One thing about his background, there is not at all a lot of reps with Chuma. It's not. It's very few starting reps, especially in 2022. He basically started 1 game. And then on top of that, when you look even closer, what you see is also, you see some injury history. Placed on IR in December. Then he placed the year before on IR on November. Then you see him placed on IR 2019 December. So if I'm looking at this, I'm seeing a trend of also injury history late into the season. So even with good film, let's keep this in mind, because this is going to be my first time actually going through his film from the 1 game that he played from last year, which is left guard. That's good. We want to see left guard tape. But keep in mind, is this good enough depth, OC, with that injury history that you're looking at?
Well, I'm finished to go ahead and tell you right when we get into this film session. I'm going to let you know right now. I'm going to let you know right now.
All right, so let me turn it on. So we should have enough people in the room by now. So make sure before we get started, let's make sure we don't have any lurkers in the building. I hit the like button. Please hit the like button. That obviously helps grow this, so we getting ready to get into the film. This is going to be, again, like I said before, this could be my first time going through this. So we go call it like we see it over here. If it's great, we go call it great. We go say the world was panicking. We getting ready to be fine and win a Super Bowl. But if it's not, we gonna also tell you that as well. So here we go, OC. Let me see.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's kick it off. So starting the film session. Let me go right to it. All right. So this is the first play. Can you see okay? OC?
Yeah, I can see.
All right, so here we go.
I can see fine.
The O.C.
The film breakdown.
All right, man. Look at your left guard, which is the player right next to the center, by the way. All right, here we go. He moves, he shuffles, his play action pass, and, you know, he does what he needs to do in terms of covering his man up. All right. All right. I mean, it's a play action pass. He was uncovered. There's not really a lot you can get out of that play, just besides seeing if he took his proper footwork. And he did, so he's fine with that. Left guard on this play, again, handsy, active hands, off the defender. Move. So you see, let's look at his set. I don't like his set. He's not moving that foot, but he's playing inside, and it's a quick release. So you don't really see a lot on him with a quick, short pass that's released, a catch and throw type situation. But you do see him get his hands on the defender, and he's fine, man. He's doing what he's supposed to. So as we get some more relevant plays, we'll be able to see and get an idea of kind of like what we're about. Also, it's a cut block, right? It was a cut block. He cut the one technique backside, which is weird. Moment don't cut, right? He cuts, right? He really wants to. Oh no, he gets kablukied is what happened. I'm sorry, I thought he went for a cut. He got kablukied. Bad feet, bad balance. Yeah, he got kablukied. He got knocked down. I thought that was intentional. But when you see it from the different angle, he gets shoved and he just falls, which is kind of like a cut block. So bad feet, right? So stop it right there. Bad feet. So bad feet, man, especially if you coaching any offensive lineman, you look at this. So the bad thing is that this play is a outside leverage play going to the right. He needs to pick up his right foot and gain a little bit of ground to cut off this one technique. He pivots off of his foot and he has to turn. That's why his shoulders are toward the sideline. And he loses strength, right? He's getting hit when he's turning sideways, so he doesn't have strength. And so that's what happens. No base, no balance, no power. And he gets hit one technique. You can let it run. He gets hit and he falls down in front of him. So, I mean, he stops him. Technically, he blocks him. Good job. Although you had bad feet, you got in front of the dude. You didn't let him get upfield and make the tackle. But bad technique. Bad technique, maybe.
All right, and this is our first time breaking him down. This is live, so we don't know what's happening. We go just kind of play it as we go. Go get some work, dog.
And again, there you go. You took the words out of my mouth. See, boss been working with me long. Exactly what I'm about to say on that. Yeah, but so right here, you don't get a chance to hit the blitzer, okay? Fine. You didn't step down. Technically, you could have stepped down and took that blitzer. Drifting when your tackle does not need help. So don't drift too much. And that's a good thing for guards to understand. If you're uncovered, don't drift. Normally come down inside, look for a blitzer or help your center. He didn't. He's just kind of, he's getting through the play, baby. He's getting through the play. All right, go ahead.
Nice.
Okay, way to come off the ball. Very good. Way to step forward and come off the football, right? And he had a good get off, good, strong get off, man, covering up the three technique. Boom. Good job, big fella.
Very good,
good
big fella.
Man. You got to let him go. Yeah, very good. Very good. Way to come off the ball, be explosive. So he's showing some pop.
Yeah.
I call that pop. He's showing a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, here he is again. That's good. All right, and this is a play action. And so, I mean, he's going to the right. Quarterback tries to take off. Nothing you can do about that. And then, off we go. So, but what I want to, and they're going to clean up his technique because notice how he always lunges out of his stance. He's never really picking up foot when he's going right. That detail I noticed, man. He's lunging out of that stance instead of picking up that right foot. but that's fine. He's good at getting his hands. That's what I noticed. That he's kind of handsy, right? But he's getting lost in the sauce here with the blitzes and all the action going on, right? So he's not good at locating, right? So he's here, and this is the second time I'm seeing this. Locate, big guy, locate. Yeah, so he passes off the guy, but he doesn't come back to the blitzer. So run that back.
Blitzer, OC.
Yeah, run that back.
I ran it back too far. Sorry.
All right, so no, it's okay. It's all right. Beautiful. So this is perfect because then we'll get a chance to see it from the other angle, and then as I talk, everybody can see it. So at the day, man, when you have blitzers and when you have movement, you're responsible for a gap, okay? And this play, so it's not this play, but you're responsible for a gap. So when you pass the man off, you pass the loop off, you're looking for the penetrator. So he has a loop cross his face. You pass off the penetrator and pass off the loop, and be ready for the penetrator. So in this particular play, pass off the loop, pass him off, and come back. Because what he did do, he let his back get run over and stick with the loop, then finish the loop, right? Don't just stand up and play patsy with the guy. Go ahead. All right, if you go stick with him. But you see, he came back late. He should have came back, and he comes off late, and his back gets run over unnecessarily. He's supposed to take that block. Anyway, next play. All right, so he's coming off the ball. He's holding his ground. That's a plus right there, right? He's coming off the ball, and he's holding his ground at the back. He's not creating big movement, but he's holding his ground. This is the NFL, man. So here it is. This is a down block by him. Good job. Get your hands inside, though, right? So you're showing some upper body strength is what he's showing, but he got to get his hands inside. I like to see his base wide or see him drive, but he did his job, right? He's holding a stalemate. He's not getting pushed back, okay? So on that, again, a solid job on that, coming all and just doing his job. So not inside here. Let me see.
Man, Mariota got
all right,
up.
boom. Yeah, he got blew up bad.
God, I mean,
no, you good.
God dog, that boy Mariota got
real reaction, by the way. This is the first time we watching this.
Yeah, first time we watching this. So anyway, go ahead, OC.
No, so let's look at the goal line play. Let's see how tough he is. Does he get down and dirty? Okay, he caught a little bit right there, but I know why he caught, because it's a play action pass. And so theoretically, man, he does his job. He can't really hold the guy when he's running away. I mean, I wish he sold it a little bit more, but he steps off, does his job. He's a guy, boom, right here. Okay, fine, good. Everybody's jumping up together. Dude's running away, starting to chase the quarterback, scrambling quarterback, and off we go, man. It's a touchdown. So he did his job. Way to go.
So I'm gonna look at the next series. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. So listen, we looking at this live, man. We ain't faking the funk. We taking it as it comes. All right, next drive.
There he is in a looper again, and then that creates a problem. So they're starting to pick up on the fact that he's not as fluent on passing off games. So notice, okay, and no, that's not him actually. He got beat on that play, man. He comes off initially, he doesn't finish. So that was on him on that play. So that's a loss. And so again, this is a quick screen, and just try to hit somebody, man. He's jogging down by the play. I just want to see him run and sprint. But I mean, theoretically, he's backside on the screen, right? So he's 1/1000, and then try to let the guy go. But just run and hit somebody, big fella. Just want to see a little bit more effort down the field, and don't just go fight it. Find a little person, then just a little person. Do it that way.
Kind of nice guy.
Yeah, boom. Here we go. So that's not bad, man. That's not bad coming off. I want to see the other angle to verify that I'm seeing this correctly. All right. So let's see him come off here. Is this down? Yep, down dude. Boom. Okay. And the dude went for his knees, right? So it's like a QB sneak. So the linebacker smart. He went for his knees on that particular play. So it wasn't really a lot he could do. And good get off. He has good vertical get off, and he has good. But he pushes with the hands instead of latching. And you know what I'm saying? But he has good latch and drop. And so he doesn't really latch and drop, but he does his job.
You gotta explain latch, because
So latch means this. Get some cloth, Don't just patty cake, bakers, man.
But push
Bake
him.
me a
He's
cake
saying
as fast as you can.
He's saying get your hands
Exactly.
on him and drive him. Golly, OC.
Right. Roll your hips. Grab his pads. Get your hands on his chest plate some kind of way and try to drive. Roll your hips and finish. Just don't be content with pushing. Like, well, I'll push you. I push you real good. I push you. You know,
yeah,
like try.
It's a lot. Of
try to drive and finish.
Yeah, it's a lot of pushing.
Yeah,
in this game.
And it's a good thing in pass pro, and it can be a good thing for guys trying to stab you. So the hands are not bad, but you got to know when to latch. And so here again, bad feet.
Did you see that strength?
Yeah.
That was.
He's strong, but he play with bad. Nah, he's strong, boss. He is strong, boss. No doubt about it. No, but his feet though.
Okay, they combo.
And that wasn't him. And that wasn't him that pushed. That was Matthews. Yeah. That was Clay Matthews' son that pushed him. That wasn't the left guard.
Gotcha. Yeah, they come.
So he lunges out of his stance to like that part. So he picks up this and he pushes instead of hitting the dude stopping him. Right. So he's pushy instead of poppy. You like that? Pushy instead of poppy?
No.
Pushy.
I don't like
push him. Pop him. He's pushy. He's a little bit, pushy. He did it again. He did his job. But I want to see him more physical. I want to see him pop you because when he play against good guys with good lateral movement, it's go that extending his hands is go get his hands slapped. It's go get his hands slapped and collapsed, and then they go change direction. When you play against real good people, man, that's what they do to you. So he's going to have to kind of clean that up.
We on the third drive.
Third drive. Here we go.
Ooh.
Again, a lot of play action pass and a lot of alert. He needs to look for the work. It's just a lot of max protect pass. So you don't see a lot of one-on-ones with him, but this is just him stepping down the side and just, good job shuffling. Gets bull back a little bit. That actually created pressure because he didn't step off with enough force on the play action. So he gets shoved back on that play.
Yeah.
And you want to stop me. Okay, so now it's a double team type block. He steps off fine based on this angle, but I want to see him get off of that shooting linebacker. So he's not really that quick. He got some decent pop coming off the ball, but he's not that quick. So he's good pop, but number 9 he misses, who actually gets in on the tackle. Number 9 he misses. So good pop, good initial driving block coming off the ball. Way to create some vertical movement up the field. No problem there. All right, and then that's that bad footwork right there. You see, he almost got his quarterback killed. That's the work I'm talking about right there. It's going to show up on this play. You're going to see it here. It's lunging, and it's not moving a foot the way he needs to. Go ahead. Whoop! There it is. There it is. And the quarterback, fortunately for him, steps up. And that's what I mean when you two-handsy. That's the perfect example. When you reach with the hands instead of hitting and latching, you get slapped and you get knocked off balance. And people can come across your face and they can try to create. You see he reaching with those hands? You saw that?
Yeah.
You saw he just tried to extend that hand. He tried to reach with that hand and he lunges, balls. He lunges instead of stepping with that right. I've been saying since almost we started, it's bad footwork. You got to step because if you step off with that right foot when the defender is going right, you have the opportunity to off of the right foot and change directions when the guy is coming across your face. But if you just lunge like this, you just lunge at the guy, right? Well, all your weight is on that right foot. So when he counter moves you and you're reaching with your hand out here, you get what he got, right? He gets slapped and then, it's running toward the quarterback for the defensive tackle.
Yeah.
So that's technical stuff that, he got to clean up.
We gonna go back to it. But everybody in the chat is saying we need to take a light break. So appreciate y'all keeping up. They say it's way too many people in the building for us not to have the proper likes. So let's go ahead and take a break. I had to do it myself. I forget too, y'all. I do. I get caught up producing. We'll get caught up talking about these film, and we'll be talking about the different analysis, and I straight up forget. So we all human. We love the Cowboys, so we understand. But let's just take a break. Let's clean up the house, clean up, pick up your cups, all that kind of good stuff before we get back into this film. Because this whole session is about facts. We want the Cowboy Nation to be educated. You know what I'm saying? So and I want to be educated. This, like we say, this is my first time looking at this. So we didn't actually break this down and say, okay, let's now present it to the nation. We are going into this blind. So, and then Sadiqa said, boss, I heard you hit that like button. Thank you. And you're welcome. And thank you, Miss Charles, for always being an ambassador for the Cowboy Nation in every channel. We really appreciate you. So hopefully by this time, hopefully we got the likes caught up. I would greatly appreciate it if everybody by now would have go ahead and hit that like button. It's very, 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 very important part of the YouTube as well as Facebook algorithms. So we really appreciate everybody helping hit that thumbs up. Let's get back into this film session. And also, Pastor Tapp said thank you for the film study. Yeah, this is important to us, Pastor. So obviously, it's important to a lot of y'all to really get eyes on these particular guys. And just before we get back into the film, I do want to explain that we're going to be doing more film studies. The next one is going to likely be Collins versus Ball, where we're going to do a side-by-side of those guys and try to imagine who could be the left guard. And we're going to use the film on that as well, because again, it's all about the statement that happened with Will McClay where he said depth at guard. So we just verifying, we just taking a look. Oh, so you ready to get back into it?
Let's go.
All right. Now, that was big what you were just talking about. When you was talking about his feet work and all that kind of stuff. One thing about that bothered me, man, is I just imagined Dak with this. You know? I was just imagining, you know, one of these guys streaming up the middle. You know what I'm saying? You know, just and I'm not trying to make us a fear mongerer, but you know, like to get beat like that and have a clean shot up the middle. Yeah, that doesn't. Cause
go ahead, boss.
No, you go.
Cause that knows that he timed him. Boom, he humped him. You know what I'm saying? He recognized that the guy was lunging on him. That's why he did that move. Yeah. Right? They pick up patterns, man. People pick up patterns and then they go start to throw different moves on you. And that's what happens. And so now again, he's uncovered. And so I want to see more work, man. Hit the nose tackle in the ribs. I know that you're looking at the linebacker, but the linebacker didn't come back to 93 right now. Hit him. Don't just float out in. Don't leave your center one-on-one unnecessarily, man. Come back and hit the guy. You're not going to help your tackle. You got an upfield pass. You're uncovered. Come back and help your center.
All right, so we're going to look at maybe a couple of more series. At this point, I think I'm getting a pretty good feel. You know, just keeping it real. I think I'm getting a pretty good feel. And I'm going to be able to start giving my analysis after we look through a little bit more. Okay, we already looked at that. Let me go look at another one. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, we flying this plane as is in air, man, as my boy Law say. So sometimes things ain't perfect because look, we didn't cut up no film. We didn't do none of that. We just turned it on, and we basically give you a live analysis of it as if we were sitting there in the coaching room. You know, we basically just kind of going through what we see, or mostly the OC. But go ahead, OC. We got the next series.
Yeah, man. So we'll take a look at him, kind of how he progresses. And, you know, if you notice, man, how they're playing this front, they're playing this 4-3 front. I mean, he's getting a lot of double teams. Good job there, you know, fighting the dude off, coming off the ball. So he's what you call a more of a solid guy that's the good teams, right? So he's trying to work to clear it off. I want to see him finish the dude, but hey, he's did a good job coming off the ball, double teaming. So he's doing a good job on that ace block right there. Here is with the hands, and see, notice they know that he got them weird, bad tendencies. That's when the looper toward him on this, boss, and I don't like it. He got to know how to pass off twisting games. He's not really good at passing off stuff in terms of twisting games. Here it is. Oh, 93 coming. He turns his shoulders. Don't turn your shoulders like that, big fella. Don't turn your shoulders toward the sideline, dog. You got to stay G. You got to stay square. If you do that, you go get your quarterback killed. Run it back, boss. Run that play back, because the people need to understand that. So that was a interior stunt, right? That was a delayed stunt by the defensive line. And when that happens, when your man goes away, it's very simple. When your man goes away, it's something coming back. So look at number 96 stutter. Okay, that's the drive block, and then we'll see it on this next play. But when your man goes away, somebody else is coming back, right? So they do an inside loop stunt, and then I'll just break it down from the other angle. But when that happens, you have to stay vertical and square. If you turn your shoulders and you chase, right? So number 96 is go stutter, number 93 is go loop around. Stutter, he's stuttering. No, don't do it. Okay, turn right now. See, he turned his hip. Stay square. Go ahead. Let it run. Stay square. And now he's flat. That's dangerous. So it's just technical stuff, and it's vision and staying square and knowing how to pass off games and stuff. He gonna have to work on that and become better. Very handsy on this, and so it can make him look like he's bouncing around like a piñata instead of being stronger at the point and just standing there hitting you, especially on pass pro. So on this particular play, you can see he plays with long hands, so that's good. Okay, so he's chasing him around, and that's nothing wrong with that, man. He chases him, he stays with him, he makes the play. I just don't like the hands. Put it like this: if you got hands, you got to have feet, and so he got hands with no feet. Okay, and so that's why he drifts and he gets bullied back into that quarterback, man.
I don't like it.
Yeah, so he's drifting, boss. He's drifting hands, but his feet and his base is not where it needs to be. So when that happens, if somebody's running at you full speed, they hit you in your belly and then you back at the quarterback's lap. So look at him. He's drifting. Stronger base. Drifting. Boom. It's knocked right into the quarterback's lap.
I hate all that falling by them quarterback legs, bro. I hate it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Dangerous, bro. It's very dangerous. So, he's a young fella, man, and I a team would pick him up. I'm not hating on the guy. I'm just evaluating. Okay, they down the ball. I see why somebody would pick him up, saying, okay, he got some strength. He got some forward aggression. We can work with him. You know what I mean? That type of deal. But he got a lot of stuff he got to work on, man. And I'm not, just telling you what I see.
Oh, hold on.
Yep.
Let me show this play. Did you have anything on that play? Because I was gonna talk about.
I'm gonna wait for the other angle. All right. So here we go to another stunt. You see how he's palm with the hands?
Yeah, man.
Right? He's palm with the hands. Like come up and engage and lock, right? And it's good. It's decent at, but too much palm with the hands. When you're reaching with the hands, like he got taken advantage of with the you get taken advantage of if you're reaching with the hands, because if you reach with the hands instead of sitting back and punching and striking with the hands, the difference is that your weight gets over your knees, and it's easy to get counter move and get knocked off balance. That's why you play from a seated position, and you play with your hands inside, elbows down, and you using your hands as weapons, not as trying to locate people and touch them per se.
Can we look at one more series? I just want to look at one more.
Go ahead, boss.
All right, then we'll break it down and all this kind of stuff. All right, this is the last series we're gonna look at.
All right, so take a look at him here. Probably an ace block. Yep, double team block. Really good movement. Really great movement. Way to go. Way to try to finish the block. Way to finish the block, actually, man. Way to finish the block. Good job, man. Yeah. Good job. His strength is power blocking, man. That's his strength.
Yeah.
His strength is coming straight off the football and power blocking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's his strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his game. So all this, and he does a decent job. If they're not moving too much, he'll block you on pass pro. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he gave up a sack in this game. It's just in terms of the finish. Okay, here, he's hoppy.
I hate that diving.
He's a little hoppy with his feet instead of keeping his feet in the ground. Again, that's stuff that they can work on him with. He's a young guy. Boom, good job. Up on the second level. I mean, he's great vertically coming off the ball straight ahead. He's really good, man. He's good vertical coming off the ball straight ahead. I mean, very quickly gets up to 57. Boom, he's up. Wow, he's up. Good job, man. Good seal. Everything. Perfect angle. Perfect feet. Everything. Great job on that run block, man. Very, very good job.
You want to break that down?
Yeah, I mean, what it is, man, is it's a combo block up to the second level. So here he has a combination block in the middle linebacker, which flows across right, boom, right there. And so he gets his man and he pins him. He keeps that middle linebacker from running underneath and getting that play. He actually helps spring his running back for a pretty good gain on that play. Stepping off the ball vertically right here, zone up two. Perfect, man. Perfect position, placement, hat placement. That's a plus. That's a plus. You know, good combination block up to the second level. That's a plus. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I want to see one more, because I want to see him downhill.
Yeah, man, he's a really good, you know, vertical run blocker. You know, old school people call that drive blocking. You know, ability just to push and shove and just push people off the ball. Call that drive blocking. Yeah, he's a good vertical blocker, man.
I saw somebody say this, that he's better than Connor Williams.
He's better drive blocking than Connor Williams.
Yeah,
blocking,
he is. Yeah. And the sad
drive
thing is
we
would need more games. We don't have enough games to really break him down. Because, see, this is not, to me, really challenging him with power. But based on what we saw, based on this one game, the question that I've been seeing, OC, I want to run this by you, is I've been seeing a lot of people saying, okay, based on the frailty that you was looking at, can this be corrected? Can this be coached up? Can it be turned when you put him in a soil of the Dallas Cowboys with Duke, with our coaching, with all of that? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he can get better, man. I think he's a rotational guy. I don't think he's a starter. But I think that he can get better and he can compete. That's what I think. The lateral movement, the hand placement, the recognition of what's happening before the play, you know, and I'm saying this respectfully. I'm not saying he's dumb, but like you got to have a little bit more patient and make the adjustments when you get twists and games inside, and you can't float. You got to know when to stop your feet and get ready to fight. And so stuff like that he can learn. He can get better at.
Yeah. Well, I would say this. I saw everything that you was talking about with those twisting stunts. That seemed like it was a pattern to him. Could that be, just putting it out there too, that was his only game starting in the year? Could that be something
no doubt, man.
Game action that was just, it's like he was in fire and he ain't been in fire for a while. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think experience is the best teachers, and the best teacher. And the more game reps and starts you get, and the more comfortable you're going to be at recognizing stunts, games, and twists. So no doubt about it. For one game, first game started, not bad. So the Cowboys get this guy because he's undervalued. They think they see potential, they see upside in him, and he's young. He don't have a lot of tread on the tire, but he has had a lot of injuries, right? So you know, you're concerned about his body. And how he's going to hold up over a 16-game season. I think he needs a little bit more strength in the leg. I think he needs some more lateral agility and quickness. That's what I think. I think coming off the ball vertically straightforward, he's fine. But it's so much more to the guard position than just vertically coming off. But that part, maybe well.
It's funny you talked about his agility, because Common Sense said... It's so funny how, like, when we watch tape, we see the same things. That's why we go to the tape over here, over rumors, over opinions. We go look at these guys. And Common Sense said, Boss Cowboy, he needs jump rope now.
Yeah, he needs some real jump rope, bro.
Oh man! All right, so let's.
He need a little jump rope.
All right, we're gonna take a couple of calls real quick. But before we take some calls, OC, we gonna put this on you and ask you, Mike Solara, get him ready to be starter. What's your steps to prepare him to be the starter for the Dallas Cowboys? Since we have depth at guard, you're a coach. Let's get him ready.
Man. So me getting the guy, me getting him ready to start is number one, understanding playbook, right? Number
Okay.
two, I want to work with him. I want to work with him a lot on what I call mirror drill.
Yeah.
And mirror drill is like when you got to shuffle your feet quickly back and forth and cover, right? I want to work with him a lot on like, and I don't want to give away too much of my game here, but I'm gonna give a little bit. I want to work on dot punch bags, and dot punch bags is basically like you're creating a fake. You use a pad and you create like a plate, and him hitting points accurately on that pad. That's gonna teach him hand discipline and also hand speed, so that his hands don't miss wide and he doesn't expose his chest when he's moving left and right. I want to see his lower body strength. I want to see him do 3-cone drills, 5-10-5 drills. I want to see him jump rope. And I want to see him battle. I'm not giving him the starting position. I want to see him battle.
Yeah, because see, it's funny, OC, because Will McClay mentioned him as an option when he talked about depth. But based on what I saw, I would feel okay. I think if you give this guy some training camp, 2 or 3 games, I could see him getting us through a season if he can not get injured.
Right.
But
and that's a big deal with the.
Go ahead.
No, that's a big deal with the not get injured part. That's a huge deal.
Yeah,
we'll see how that goes, boss. Go ahead, please complete your thought.
Well, no, that's my concern. That's my major concern is those injuries. It's but obviously we both know that the Dallas Cowboys, we have the best strength and conditioning staff. We both know that. So even looking at Malik Hooker, right, and what we attempting to do right now, even in our defensive end room with Tack McKinley, I trust us in terms of trying to keep people on the field, but I don't ignore injury history. So, when you talk about depth, I also want to trust that depth. And right now, if we just really analyzing, his injury history and his play, we got to be very aggressive, in my opinion, about insurance for this insurance.
Yeah, and he's a fill-in player. He's not the guy that you really want to be there for 5 and 10 years. He's a fill-in player. That's what he is at this point in his career.
Yeah.
Unless he goes berserk and proves otherwise. But he's been in the league long enough to prove some things, right?
Yeah.
He's capable of playing, right? He's capable of being on the field. He's capable of starting, but he's not your ideal guy. But again, he's going to be underneath a tremendous microscope at the point in his life, and being in that Dallas Cowboys training camp, man. So, I wish him well. I think if he's in here working hard, man, he has a chance to be solid for us. And sometimes solid is good enough, Boss Cowboy. You ain't got to be all world, but man, we playing against some tough guys, like we mentioned at the beginning of this. And you just want to, man, have the best possible player or piece there. And so that's what I would say to that.
Right. So we got the call lines open. Y'all go ahead and call in if anybody wants to freestyle and talk about anything. You don't necessarily have to be depth at guard. It can be anything. If you have any questions, any concerns, we go open up the phone lines real quick as we kind of wrapping this up. But I would say this, this is a very important series to me, OC. I can really see why we got to keep our eyes on this. Honestly, just kind of watching, I don't think a lot of people are keeping a serious eye on this, but I think it'd be important for us and the Cowboy Nation to keep a very close eye on the future at left guard. Now, as I start summing it up, this is what I say. About Chuma. So Chuma, from that one little bit of film, I would say, is gonna need some work. Hold on, we got us a call. Here we go. Boss Cowboy Sports and the OC.
What's up, boss? It's Montana.
What's up with it? Montana, what's up?
You call it, man. How you feeling, OC?
Good,
anyway,
bro.
I just want to drop this piece, you know what I'm saying? I just keep seeing a lot of people or believing right now that the team is equipped to go make a run, and I'm like, nah, man. You know, it's probably going to take up until playoffs to have, you know, a complete, fully healthy, ready team to make a deep run. You know, I hate using Philly as an example, but that's the same way they did it. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing that the Chiefs did it, the Rams did it, the Bucks did it. You know, and I feel like right now, you know, yeah, we got pieces in place, you know what I'm saying, for a team to win out the season, but to make a deep playoff run, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have to keep adding pieces, you know, because like I said earlier on Law's channel, you know, we do have to count in injuries is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
With injuries is going to happen, we still got to find, you know, more depth at certain places. I'm not saying all across the board, but just certain places like a left guard, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, center, or, you know, D tackle, you know, or DN. Even though we got all these pieces, you know, I'm just not satisfied, you know. Like Law said, you know, I'm greedy. You feel me?
Yes.
But I just want, you know, to throw that piece out there like, hey, this is not a complete team. You know, we still got time. We got OTAs, we got training camp. You know, it will be guys, you know, either going to practice squad or, you know, free agency. You could always hit free agency throughout the, you know, season. You still got trade deadline and all that to go on, so you never know what could happen, you know, down the stretch. But, you know, I just want to share that piece right there. Appreciate you for having me on, boss.
Always, Montana. Yeah, that's the OG Montana. And what's your thoughts on that, OC?
Well, I think that, you know, you want to get as good as you can, as fast as you can, because I think that, you know, people say that good things come to those that wait, and I say the leftovers after those who have hustled. So this is an arms race, and players go first. Fortunately, that's how it is. Unfortunately for some people. So if you got a chance to do something, do it now. You don't want to have to pick somebody up off the streets. You don't want to have to get the last scraggler free agents. And I think that we don't have a lot of time. This is almost, you know, we're almost to the middle of May. Can you believe that? We're a little May. You know, your kids be getting out of school, people planning summer vacations. And when June hits, man, we got approximately 6 weeks. We're in camp. It's not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time, right? Yeah. And now, fire call by Montana, man, and you know my thoughts on that is, I agree with him, man. We need to stay hungry and aggressive. Like, don't let off the gas. Like, hold on, we got us another call. The OC and Boss Cowboy.
How you doing?
Hey.
Cowboy Day. I had a question about a trade, about like an Aaron Donald. What prospect you would be willing to give up, and what draft pick for Aaron Donald?
Nothing.
You wouldn't be willing to give up Jordan Lewis and next year?
You would have to give up a lot more than Jordan Lewis to get Aaron Donald.
So it's nothing that
You gotta give
you wouldn't take that trade. Just say late in the season.
I would.
The trade
If they did that, I would take that. I mean,
I know it's gonna be more than that, but I mean, you know, the Rams they look like they about to get ready to clean house. You see, Jalen Ramsey went for, I don't know what he went for, but I don't think it was much.
Yeah, I actually have come around on how Stephen Jones build the team to where he don't get aggressive in giving away premium trades for players that's getting older. I actually like that. I think we do real good with that, you know? So I put it like this, you know, I wouldn't want to break the bank for him and give away the future. I just wouldn't. I'd rather us go with Mozzie. I ain't lying to you too. I would go with Mozzie and steer this ship just how we are right now and let that young bull get better and build around. Who I want us to build around and keep building around is Parsons. And I want them draft picks to do it. That's me.
Yeah.
But good question, man. Yeah, good question.
All right. Okay.
All right, appreciate the call, man. And see, I like that because see, that type of caller, he looking to be aggressive. I don't mind calls like that. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Man, no, I think that, it's going to be extremely rich to get an Aaron Donald. You talking about 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You talking about, you talking about 3 firsts, which at this point, the Rams would gladly take. Ha, 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 sucker. Because we know, like, he's great, but his best games are behind him. He still got some good games in him. But, man, come on, man. Father Time is undefeated, man. And he's been he's an all-time great. He's the first ballot Hall of Fame, all that. He still got game left. But, hey, man, you can only play elite for so many years, especially in it, man. It is what it is.
Boy, they coming with the freestyle questions now. They say, what about Mecca Becton trade, boss?
That goes into your Darnell Jones, your DeJuan Jones type. Right, get you kind of what you want. He already been in the league, boss. What you think?
It depends on what now. So you can't say, okay, I'll put it like this. I'm open for trades. And now y'all need to start putting for what? Because if you say, am I open for a trade? Yes, I am. Now, if you say, for what? You got to tell me the what I'm giving away. Because, see, we got to be very careful with trading away these first. Because it sounds good until you go look at the cost of those first sometime. So it sounded good when we really wanted Earl Thomas to give away that first. It sounds real bad when you now consider in hindsight that first would have been Michael Parsons. It sounds bad. Yeah, so it sounds good when you're trying to get aggressive, but it sounds bad when you get to that date. Nah. So
right.
Steven, on a lot of stuff, I think Steven is dead right. And I've come around to Stephen Jones on a lot of stuff. And he might end up being right again on left guard. If he end up being right, I'm gonna give him a lot of credit. But if he end up being wrong, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go right at it. So, yeah,
100%, man.
People not calling in, man. I guess we done warm out. We done dropped so many videos today, man. They don't even want to talk to us right now. So I'll tell you what, OC. Let's close out our thoughts on this first depth at guard series. So we put the film out there. First of all, before we give our thoughts, we want to get y'all thoughts. What's y'all thoughts on Chuma? Give us y'all opinion on Chuma. Do y'all see him being a real good Band-Aid to get us through 2023? Give us your honest opinion from the film that we showed you. Like, what do you feel? Put it out there right now as we getting ready to queue up our final thoughts on Chuma and the thoughts of depth at guard. So I'll be waiting to see what y'all saying as we getting ready to wrap up our thoughts. But I'll go ahead and start, OC, as I'm looking at the chat. I would say just from the film session, I would say that we need insurance. We need to be aggressive. I don't feel secure. But I do feel from the film, especially him getting downfield and showing some push, it could help us. Where if we really are committed to a run identity, that limited film that I saw made me feel a little bit good, because when he was getting downfield, he was making it happen. But when, like you said, when he come down to picking up them stunts, he was showing some liability. When it came down to the feet work, he showed some liability. But just the basic push off the ball, I like what I saw. I hope that putting him in the room with our new offensive coach, Mike Solari, and also putting the best trainers around him like Duke, maybe in a short period of time, we're going to get a gain out of him. Hopefully. But I can't say 100% from that limited film session that I feel 100% confident, but I at least feel better just from what I saw.
Yeah, boss. Here's what I think about it. You know how it's a certain girl that you liked in high school, boss, and she was the dream, the absolute dream. But then that girl didn't end up getting with you, and she was taken. And then you had this other girl that always liked you. She wasn't on the level of the girl that you really wanted, but she was solid. She was all right. So, okay, I'll go to the prom with you. That's fine. That's exactly what this is, Boss Cowboy.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We'll get you in camp. We'll play the ball with you. We'll play some ball with you.
Oof.
So, look, I think he's a solid young prospect. I am concerned about the injury history. I am concerned about the fact that, remember, they bumped him inside. He started as a tackle.
Yeah.
And you can see why they bumped him inside, and it's because of that footwork, man.
Yeah.
It's because of that footwork. So, a lot to work on. I think he's a depth piece. I don't think he's a bad piece. But I think we need to match position. And you know what, guys? If you want to know who we think should start, you got to wait to this series. I'll give your thoughts about that. But look, follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you guys for all the support in the super chat. Thank you guys. Money into the Cash App, $ Boss Cowboy Sports for those that do it. Also, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notification icons for the latest and greatest in Cowboy sports and news. You can follow me, the OC100 on Twitter. And unless Boss got something else, we'll see you.
Boss ain't got nothing. But we go through all the film. Yep. We go through all that film.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Another one.
Miss Lockhart said, hell no, we gotta hit free agency.
Run it up.
I ain't bad at you.
If we locked in, ain't no switching up.
Hit that like button on the way out, man. I love how y'all be speaking y'all mind.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
Love it.
Huh.
Run it up.
Boss Cowboy Sports.
I missed the chat. My bad, bro. I'll catch it.